Hi everybody, it's Austin here, or Luna. So, I had a much longer video planned for today. I had like a 45-minute video that was going to go up, and then I woke up at 9 p.m. And I'm like, well, now it's kind of late. People are going to be sleeping soon. I'm not putting it up today. So tomorrow you'll get the longer video. This one is still pretty good. It's not short by any means either, and it's kind of Halloween themed. I thought this would be a good story to tell right before Halloween, so I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's get into it. So this story time takes place back in 2016. A very good year, very fun year, and a year where I did a lot of stupid shit, I won't lie. Around this time, it was October 2016. Halloween was just around the corner. This was actually the 29th of Halloween, so literally just a couple days away. And me and my friends were hanging out one night. Now, we were bored, okay? We were teenagers. We had nothing to do. Just couldn't think of shit, right? And when you're a teenager and you have nothing to do and you're not old enough to go somewhere that has a curfew or an age limit, you make your own fun. I remember when I was a kid, I would find fun in some of the dumbest shit in the world just because I was with my friends. And honestly, I still live like that to this day, even into my 20s. For example, a couple months ago, I went to the bar with some of my friends, and I didn't have that good of a time because I don't really drink, and it was loud as fuck and overwhelming and just crazy. But like 2 weeks later, I went to my studio with those same friends, and we made a bunch of like funny songs together, just like some stupid songs, and I had more fun doing that. All I'm saying is you can have a lot of fun with the right people as long as you're with the right people. Anything can be fun. You don't need some like crazy event to go to or something to have fun, right? So yeah, me and my friends were driving around one night right before Halloween, and we were all just kind of like, bored, didn't know what to do. And I came up with a very stupid idea. Usually I'm not the one to come up with ideas like this, but for some reason on this night, I was like, fuck it. I came up with the idea for me and my friends to go and jump the fence at a very big cemetery in my city, a very heavily guarded cemetery as well. And my idea was to jump the fence, sneak in there, and play hide and seek with my friends. And they all loved the idea of that. Literally everybody was like, dude, that's fucking genius. Like, we got to do that. That's going to be so much fun. So yeah, before I knew it, me and my friends were on the way to this cemetery. I was in the back of my homie's car, and we were driving there. And I remember on the way there, I thought to myself, like, yo, this probably isn't a good idea. I probably should have just kept my mouth shut and not said that. But it was too late. We were already on the way. Everyone seemed very on board with it. And I thought, it's okay. We'll be fine. We won't get caught, right? We'll be all right. Yeah, I didn't know what we were in for. Well, upon getting to the cemetery, we realized there was a lot more security than we thought. So we had to wait like 45 minutes until one of the security guards left. And when that one security guard finally left, we ran to the fence, we climbed it, and we jumped the fence into this cemetery and then ran as deep as we could into it. Now, while we were doing this, I remember mid-run, while we were just running to the middle of the cemetery, I remember just thinking to myself, bro, this is so dumb. I'm running into the middle of a fucking creepy-ass, probably haunted-ass cemetery with a bunch of my homies. This is just crazy, right? Well, anyway, after we ran, probably about for 5 minutes, we get to the middle of the cemetery, and it's on this hill, and we're sitting just on this little bench, and we're all sitting there, right, kind of catching our breath, chilling for a sec because we all just ran. And after everyone catches their breath, my friend's like, all right, bro, let's play hide and seek. Now, there was 4 of us, so not that many people. And honestly, this cemetery was fucking huge, so we could not use the entire cemetery, right? Because if we did that, we'd never find each other. So I was like, yo, let's kind of draw a line here of where we can and can't go. And my friend's like, good idea. So we end up drawing this invisible circle of where we can and can't go. And it was pretty straightforward to follow. There was a pretty big mausoleum, I don't know how far away, 100 feet away probably. And we couldn't go past that. So yeah, pretty simple rules. Just don't go past that mausoleum and stay within the invisible circle. Now, I got picked as first seeker, which I hated. I never liked being the seeker because I suck at finding people. I never liked being first seeker because I knew that I'd be seeking for a very long time because your boy couldn't find shit. But I didn't question it. I just thought, whatever, I'll just do it. So I sit back down on that bench and I start counting backwards from 2 minutes. I gave everyone 2 minutes and they all ran off and hid. Now, while everybody was hiding and I was doing my 2-minute countdown, I was thinking to myself, I was thinking about a lot of things. First of all, I was thinking about, damn, it's cold out here and I only have a hoodie. It's chilly. Number 2, I was thinking, okay, where would my friends hide if I was them? And I'm thinking of all the places. And guys, guess what? You want to know where you can hide in a cemetery? Behind gravestones. That's literally all there was there. And there was thousands of them. So I was not going to have a good time looking for them. Even in the little circle we drew, there was a lot of fucking gravestones. And it was going to be probably near impossible to find them. But after that, I was thinking, I wonder if we'll get caught. Because this might take me a while to find them. And what if security comes looking while I'm looking for them? And then I get caught. So a lot of things were running through my head, right? I was thinking about a lot of things while I did this 2-minute countdown. Anyway, fast forward, the 2-minute countdown was now up. It was time to seek and find my friends. So I started out on my journey. And guess what? Within like 2 minutes, I found somebody. My dumbass friend, we'll just call him Steve. I found Steve behind a gravestone, literally like 10 feet next to where I was counting. I was like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, bro, I thought this was genius. I thought, everyone else is going to run super far out and try and find some complex hiding spot. I thought if I hid right behind you that you wouldn't look there because you thought no one would be dumb enough to hide so close to you. But fuck, man. And he was super butthurt about it. It was kind of funny. And honestly, I saw the vision. I knew what he was trying to do because I've done it before in hide and seek games. But because I've done it before, I thought to look close. So yeah, I found him pretty quick. Me and Steve were now both seekers. And we set off on seeking. Now, we kind of split up. I went one way, Steve went another, because we thought that'd be the fastest way to find our friends. And believe it or not, within 15 minutes, we found everybody. All of our friends were found, and that round went pretty quick. And I thought, okay, good. Now I don't have to seek anymore. I could be a hider, my favorite part of the game. And now Steve's a seeker, because Steve got caught first. So Steve starts counting backwards from 2 minutes. We all run off to hide. I went very far out. I went like pretty much to the line of where we said we couldn't cross. And I hid behind this big gravestone. And I made sure not to touch it or anything because, even though these people are all dead, I do not want to disrespect their graves by leaning on the stones or sitting on them or, touching them. I think that shit's kind of mean. I see like photos on Instagram of people trying to like look edgy and they're like sitting on a gravestone. And I'm like, bro, if I was dead and I was underground and I find out that some motherfucker on Instagram sitting on my gravestone to try and look edgy and like tough, I'm going to float up through the ground. I'm going to fucking haunt him. I'm going to possess him. I'm going to make him learn not to disrespect the dead. I'm pretty sure I'm getting cremated when I die, so this hypothetical doesn't make any sense. Anyway, yeah, I'm sitting behind this grave, right? I'm crouched down, I'm hiding, and after the 2 minutes is up, Steve starts seeking, right? And I'm just chilling back there, I'm hiding, and I was pretty far away from everybody. All my other friends, they all hid pretty far. So I'm nervous, right? I'm alone, it's creepy, I'm in the middle of this cemetery. It's a little bit weird, I can't lie. I'm starting to get some negative vibes, okay? And all of a sudden, about 5 minutes later, I start hearing footsteps near me. And I thought, oh shit, Steve's nearby. He's searching. And I hear a voice, like 10 seconds later, whispering. And I hear it say, I just heard something over here. But here's the weird part. It didn't sound like Steve whispering. It sounded like a grown adult, like someone much older than us, right? They had like kind of a smoker's voice. And I peek around the gravestone to see like who it might be. And I see none other than a man in a security vest walking around with his flashlight looking for us. And I was like, oh shit. And I quickly like go back behind the gravestone and he's close to me, bro. He's like 2 rows ahead of me looking behind those gravestones. So it's only a matter of seconds before he comes over to mine and looks behind it and sees me. So at this point, I have 2 choices. I sit there and I get caught, or I get up and I run as fast as I possibly can away from him. And I blow my cover because he will see me. Once I run away, the guy's going to see me. He's going to hear me like it's obvious. But I'm not going to lie. I chose option 1. I thought, you know what? I'm going to sit here behind the gravestone. If he sees me, I'll let him escort me out. Hopefully he doesn't call the police. Hopefully I'm okay. And guess what? He didn't find me. He ends up searching that whole first row of gravestones. Then he searches the second one. And then before he gets to the third one where I was, he just turned around and went to some other part of the cemetery and walked away. Now, to this day, I don't know what he heard. He claimed he heard something. I was being dead silent, so I know it wasn't me. Maybe it was a spirit or some shit. Maybe it was a bird. I don't know. But it wasn't me. Anyway, he wandered off into another part of the cemetery. Now, immediately, I pull open my phone and I call Steve. And he answers. I'm like, bro, are you still seeking? He's like, yeah. I'm like, have you found anybody? He's like, no, I'm still looking. Why? I haven't found anyone. I'm like, bro, get over to where I am right now and try and like go on the outskirts of the graveyard. Don't go through the middle. That security guard's over there. Walk around the outskirts until you get to the mausoleum area where we drew that line, that invisible line. I'm over there. Meet up with me. Let everyone else keep hiding. And then I'll text them. He's like, okay, bet. So Steve like runs around the outskirts of this graveyard and finds me, right? And we both crouch down behind the gravestone. Meanwhile, I'm texting the group chat that we're in. And I'm like, yo, everyone keep hiding. Security is in the graveyard and they are looking for us, bro. Like, I heard the dude say he heard something and now he's looking for people. So, like, keep low. Don't move. And everyone in the group chat's like, what the fuck? Like, where is he? And I was like, I'm not sure, bro. He went towards the middle and I lost sight of him. So, like, if you're in the middle, he might be near you. And then right after I said that, my friend texted the group chat. He's like, bro, I see him. And I was like, oh shit. And he's like, bro, he's pretty far away, but I can see him. So everyone's like in like these hiding spots, and we're all texting in this group chat. Meanwhile, Steve's right next to me, and we're like whispering to each other like, yo, this is fucked. And after we hide for about 10 minutes, my friend that had a view on him said that he left. He's like, bro, he just went towards the parking lot. Now's our chance. Everyone get up and run towards the fence and jump it. Let's get the fuck out of here. So immediately, me and Steve just jump up. We run towards the nearest fence. We jump the fence. Our other friends ran towards their nearest fence. They were on the other side of the cemetery. They jumped the fence. And we all just start running down the sidewalk after we're out of the cemetery, just down the street, right? And me and Steve end up doing a loop. So once we were on the other side of the fence and we were out of the cemetery, technically, and we were on the sidewalk, we walked down the sidewalk, took a right. We went around the block towards the other side of the cemetery on the outside where that fence was. And we found our friends. We found everybody. And everyone's like geeking out. We're all jumping up and down like, holy fuck, that was crazy. And I'm like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here, bro, before we end up getting caught. So we start walking away, right, towards where our car was. We parked across the street from the parking lot of the cemetery. So we were going to have to like kind of cross the street and kind of see that security guard again. But he'll be in his car. He'll be in the parking lot. He won't think anything of us, right? He'll just think we're walking down the sidewalk in front of the cemetery. So we get to that area, right? We get to where the front of the cemetery is, and we see our car parked across the street in this other parking lot of this other building. And we start walking to our car. And as soon as we're about to get in the car and like leave, I hear a siren behind me. And I thought, surely that isn't for us. And I turn around, and there's a fucking cop pulling into the lot right where we are with his siren on. And he pulls up right in front of our car. He gets out of his car, and he goes, how you guys doing tonight? And we're all like, good. And Steve kind of steps up and he's like, what's up, officer? Like, did we do something wrong? And the cop goes, well, that's kind of what I'm here for. You see that security guard across the street? And he points over to the security car in front of the cemetery. And we're like, yeah. He goes, well, he just called me. And he said that he saw teenagers jumping his fence and running away out of the cemetery. He said that one of them was wearing a red beanie, and he points to me. And I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, man. So me and Steve must have gotten spotted when we were jumping the fence, right? And immediately I put my head down, just kind of like in shame. I look down at the ground, and the cop goes, so I'm just here to ask you guys, was it you? Were you guys in the cemetery just now running around? If you be honest with me, it goes a long way. And me and my friends kind of looked at each other, and I just spoke up. I was like, yeah, it was us. And he goes, thank you for being honest. I was like, no problem. And he turns around again and he points to the cemetery. And he goes, you see that big entrance gate where cars drive through? That's the main entrance to the cemetery. You see how that gate's closed? And I was like, yeah. He goes, that means you don't jump the fence and trespass into the cemetery. That means you stay out and you enter when it's open, not when it's closed. And we're all like, okay, we're sorry. And he goes, no problem. Look, security guards don't want to trespass you guys. They don't want you guys in trouble. They just want you to stay out of the cemetery after hours, okay? So please, whatever shenanigans you were getting into in there, keep it at your own homes, okay? Don't do it at the cemetery. I get that it's Halloween, it's spooky season. You guys probably want to go in there and like try and find some ghosts or something, but like, don't do that. And we're like, okay. And he turns around, he gets in his car, and he waves goodbye, and he leaves. That was crazy to me. He didn't even ask for IDs. He didn't like question who we were, what we were doing. He just pulled up and he was like, yo, don't do that anymore. And he dipped. We got off so easy. And I'm like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here. So we get in the car and we start pulling off, right? And as we're pulling off, the security car from the cemetery, he pulls up next to us and he puts his window down and he goes, you guys have a nice conversation with the officer? And we all roll our windows down. And my friend driving is like, yeah, sorry about that, man. And the security dude was like, that's fine. Just keep out. And we're like, okay. And we drove off. Now, as soon as we drove off, my friend turned around, the one that was driving, and he was like, yo, that was so fucking lucky. And we're all like just geeking out, like, what the fuck? And we ended up driving back to my homie's house and hanging there for the rest of the night and just stayed inside, bro. We didn't do shit. We didn't do any other spooky activities. We didn't do anything else. Didn't go to any other cemeteries. We stayed our asses home for the rest of the night because that was a close call and it could have been way worse. And yeah, we played hide and seek in the cemetery, like one round basically. And then we got caught sneaking out of the cemetery and the guy called the cops, which I thought was kind of funny. Like if I was a security guard, right, and I heard a noise in the cemetery I was guarding, I'd call the cops right away, right? I wouldn't wait and investigate it myself and then call the cops when I see the person leaving. Like I would have done it sooner, because if he called the cops sooner, they would have found us in the cemetery and we would have been caught red-handed. But I don't know. Either way, it all worked out. We were all okay. And there's a moral to this story. Don't be like young Luna. Don't do what we did. That was pretty stupid. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time, little Halloween story. Don't worry, that Halloween special is still happening. I'll probably do that on the 30th or the 31st, like on Halloween. And I will have some longer video for you guys coming up this week. Don't worry, I've not forgotten about how you guys like the long videos. It's just a little tough when my sleep schedule is this cooked, because if I do a long video right now, it will end up going up very late. But don't worry, tomorrow I will try and have a longer one up for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see y'all later. Peace.